Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all fine and doing well. Yeah, today I want to discuss about a very important aspect of our course, and that is going to be a theory, but practical aspect of Microsoft Office Excel, which I want everyone to pay much attention, and then at the end of the session, I need to get feedback from you because I want you to communicate back to me by going to this YouTube video and then you add a comment. Yes, this comment can be in the form of maybe a question, it can be in the form of supplement, compliment, any form of feedback, but everyone should do. Of course, view the video, add a comment so that I find better ways of helping you because sometimes I'm not sure whether everyone has understood as I have intended. So now, Microsoft Office Excel is also another package within the Microsoft Office suite. You get? Now, this Microsoft Office suite helps you to of course, find different packages like Microsoft Office Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publish, and so on. You get, but now each one has a role it plays to the users that are actually using it. You get. Now, when we talk about Microsoft Office Excel, it is a spreadsheet program. When we talk about spreadsheet, it is not only Excel, which is a spreadsheet program, but now being that it is our center of focus, I shall basically concentrate much on Microsoft Office Excel. So when we talk about a spreadsheet, we are talking about a program that displays data in a table called a worksheet. You get, don't confuse a spreadsheet, a worksheet, and a workbook. A workbook, as you hear, a workbook is combination of multiple worksheets you get as we are going to see. So uses of spreadsheet, of course, yeah, very many people use it for preparing budgets, financial statements, inventory management, as well as creating analytical data like charts and so on. Yeah, so that is spreadsheet uses. And when we talk of the worksheet, this is a grid with the columns and what? Rows. So a combination of columns and rows. So a combination of all of those multiple columns and rows form what we call a worksheet. You get. So, and I'm going to be a little bit fast on this, but in case, yeah, you watch the video and you need more clarity, please just go to the comment area and your comment, then I will be able to respond to those various comments. Now, we have some terms that we use when we are working or interacting with what? With the Microsoft Office Excel. One of them is what we call a cell. Okay. Now, as you know very well, like in Word, last time our last session was about Microsoft Office Word, and we were, of course, dealing with more with various terminologies like a page, top of maybe title bar, toolbar, taskbar. So even now, Excel also has its own what terminologies, like now a cell. I wanted to, okay, I need to present this so that you are able to see this. Okay, yeah, I want to present this. When I talk of a Microsoft Office Excel and I talk of Excel, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Excel. Now you see where I've been talking about a worksheet. A worksheet, that is where oh, you are not seeing my screen. Allow me to share again so that you are able to see what I'm talking about. Yes, Microsoft Office what? Excel. Like I said, this is a practical but a theory kind of what? Kind of approach. Yeah, so you have to pay much attention. Where you don't understand, please let me know so I can come in to help and you understand better. Very good. Now I guess you are able to see my screen. And now when I talk of a worksheet, I'm talking about the entire page you are seeing, you get. That is why you see down here, there is something called the sheet one. So it is a worksheet one you get. But I told you that there is what we call a workbook. A workbook has the what we call multiple worksheets. Now, like this is sheet one, for example, we can rename it by right clicking, and then we choose an option for the rename, and we call it maybe budget, and we press enter after typing. Then we can add another one, for example, in case we have to also put other details. Still, you right click on that word sheet 2, go to rename, then you give it like maybe reports, just reports, and then you also press enter. So now when we go back to budget, like we have what we call columns. Now you see that one C, the one you see of this one A. Columns are labeled by letters you get, and the rows are labeled by numbers, as you can see. Those are what? Rows. Now the entire this, a combination of columns and the rows, is what we call the worksheet you get. Yeah, so I want you to get everything clearly. What you don't understand, please add a comment. I will be able to respond. Now, very simple. Everything we do in Excel, we do it in this format. When we talk of a cell, is this one. You see, that box you see is what we refer to as what? A cell. And a cell, to define a cell, we define it by saying it is the intersection between a row and a column, where a column and a row intersect from, they end up forming that box you see, called the what? A cell. But what you have to know is each and every single box here, or each and every single cell, has a unique name. The way how you see each and every student at the university has what we call a unique registration number. So every cell here in worksheet has a unique name. And that name is generated from a column where it belongs and a row. That is why you see now this one is, we are in column B, and when we are here, so when we come here, this is B what? B6. Yes. That is why you see, even if, like, that is why, because now when we start computing, making calculations, we shall not be maybe adding like, 2 plus 4. No, we shall be instead adding the cell names where the figures, the values we want to add belong. For example, if we have 20 here, then we have maybe 40 here. Everyone knows that when you add 20 and 40, you get 60. But now we shall say equals, you see where 20 is in cell B4. We shall say B4, or we shall even just click there. When you click there, you see that in our formula, but it is written as B4 as well as in the what? In the cell B4. Then we say plus this 40, which is in D6, and you press enter. When you press enter, you see that the answer comes what? 60. Let me hope I'm making some sense. Like I said, if you don't get anything, please feel free to ask by adding comment. I'll be able to respond. That is via the YouTube. Yes. Now, let's go back to let's go back to this. Yeah, I've already defined the cell, and I've told you that it is the intersection of the row and what? In the column. Yeah, we have even other terminologies like label, which are words or letters, then the values, these are numbers, formulas, the statements that perform what? Calculations. Then we have what we call the cell range, which is a group of cells that are closely what? Together, as we shall see. Then we have columns. I have randomly shown you what columns are, and I believe everyone knows what a column is. This is what I mean by what a column. Like now, this is B, this is E, these are columns. The what? The vertical presentation. These are columns. You get. Yeah, and then when we talk about a row, we are referring to the horizontal what arrangement of what lines in a worksheet. Yes. Um, then, yeah, that one I think it is much clear. And I told you that each row is represented by a number, and the column is represented by what? A letter. You get. So then that one I've already told you. Then we have what we call a worksheet tab. The tab that it identifies each open worksheet in a what? In a spreadsheet program. Yes. Then this is just a comparison between the Excel 2003 and Excel 2007. Yeah, so you realize that the difference is just between the number of what columns and rows that each program has. Yeah, then we have what we call the cell address, which is the cell referencing actually, which is a column letter and the row number. Yes, like the way how you can say A1 and the B2. Yes, when we say A1, this is what we refer to. This is A1. Then when we say B2, this is what we refer to as B2 because we are in a column of B and in the row what? Row 2. So the cell name is called what? B2. Yes. And now we have what we call the name box, which displays the name of the what? The active cell or the range. You get. Yes, the name box. Like now when we are here, you see when you come here to the formula bar, you are able to see that there is a formula for this particular what? Cell. You get. So yeah, now when you come here, yes, I've already talked about the formula bar. The formula bar is this one, this area you see up here, where you see this photo. Yeah, because when we put any formula here, you see, we were typing it here, but now you see it goes up here in the what? In the formula bar equals D4 plus D6, you get. Yeah, and the reason as to why I included that equal sign, every computation you have to make in Excel must start with what? An equal sign. You get. Now there is what we call an active cell. An active cell is the current cell where you are normally highlighted or big in it, like bold. Now you see the active cell here in this sheet is for F7. You go. When you come here, the active cell is B6. When you go here, it is G7. You get it is even different from the rest. So that is the active what? The active cell. So we have what we call a function, which is a built-in formula that is a shortcut for common calculations like addition and averaging, as we are going to see the difference between a function and a formula. Then we have just a moment. Okay, we have what we call operation symbols, which instructs the computer as to what mathematical operations to perform. These are some of the operation symbols. We are going to be interacting with the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, division. How do you key a formula like using this? Like I told you, this one down you see here is a what? Is a formula. Because I told you each and every formula function must, it is not option, but it must start with an equal, an equal sign. That is why you see equals 4 plus 5, you get, yeah. Then we have what we call the column with it. Column with it is this one. Yeah, we can enlarge the column with it. Yes, like now this column with it is this one. For example, we have a what? Maybe mathematics. Let me just adjust a bit. Mathematics, or you can say Uganda. University, but you realize that actually it exceeds the width of the column. So what you do, you can add just come here on top of the column where the current column separates from the next column. Then you click, you see that even the cursor changes from the plus symbol now to something like that across. So you click in between and it starts moving up to where you want to stop. You get, so you have highlighted, you have enlarged the size of the column. If you don't do that, like I undo. So I just come here still in between where the first one ends and where the next one starts from. Then you double click. When you double click, it will automatically adjust to the size of that column. You get, yeah, that is column width. The same applies to row width. Yes, you can still also adjust the size of the row like this. You get, so you realize that now this row number 4 is bigger compared to this other rows. Yeah, that is just it. The column width and then the row width. Yes. Sorry, the columns have width and then the rows have height. Yes, you can adjust from the height of the height of the row. Then the columns you adjust on the size of the width. Yeah. This is the fill handle tool. Yeah, fill handle tool. Filling. We have what we call filling. For example, in the case maybe we want to put this year 2022, but we want to make all people, maybe in case we have all these other people like around here, in case maybe we had something like a name here, name, then you come, maybe for, we have Tira, we have James, Yakira, then we have Johan, Ken, something like that. So now, if we want to represent them all, or maybe first put back this, yes, then just fill. When you fill, you see where I am. This is our active cell, right? Now, here in the corner down, you see the cursor will even change now. The moment it changes, you click and don't release the finger from your mouse. You click, hold it down, then start moving up to where you want to go. So it will auto fill the rest with the 2020 value you get. That is auto filling. It does not only apply to probably numbers or values, but it applies to a formula. If you have applied the formula here, you want to apply the same formula to the rest, you just do the same. Yeah. Then the same you can, for example, in case maybe you are assigning maybe unique numbers. For example, we can say maybe the first person is 2000. Okay, maybe the first person, oh, this person's number is 0, 100, then we have 101, then we have 102. So what you do is when you select three of these, now it is going to auto increment the rest by just doing this. It will be auto incrementing, it will be adding the number automatically, you get. So that is also auto filling. Then you have even auto sum, which automatically creates a formula to add a series of numbers in the spreadsheet, as we're going to see. We can even have charts, like you can insert charts. You know, these charts can be of different nature. They can be pie charts, they can be bar charts, they can be of any type, as we shall see. We have also what we call sorting, or in English, what you can call arranging. We can arrange data in alphabetical order or the vice versa. Now, the alphabetical or the normal order is the ascending order from low to highest, from small to biggest. that is ascending order. Then when we talk about the descending order, now that is the opposite, descending from Z to A, from 10 to 0, from 100 to 1, that is descending order. Ascending order, the opposite from 1 to 100, from A to Z, depending on what you want to arrange. You get, yeah. Then we have some errors that may happen. You will read through this. So that is our first session. Now the next session I'm going to record is going to be a practical one, which requires your total attention. Total attention. And once you finish that, probably I'm going to ask you to do some small tasks that I need to mark to confirm whether you have understood. Thank you very much. Yeah, that marks the end of our first day session.